Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Derryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
The whole gang is here, and we have a plan.
A plan.
It's the Fantastic Five to talk about the Fantastic Four.
Exactly. Who's Herbie?
Well, that'd be Brian.
I'm Herbie, yeah.
Yep.
That's good. But we'll get into that. So we are going to talk about the Fantastic Four. There will be spoilers. I guess it's only been out, well, by the time you hear that, it's out a week, like everything we talk about. We may reference Superman, so if you haven't seen that yet, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
We have not had conversations with the others about Superman yet, and I think there's a natural juxtaposition between these two. So,
for sure.
We'll get into
and
it.
we've all seen this within, me and Barry saw it on Sunday. Todd probably saw it on Thursday when it came out, but none of us have had any discussions.
Mm-mm.
Correct.
Yeah, and three of us were together for an extended period.
And Todd said nothing. Shocking.
That's what I was going to say. We the three of us got together over the weekend for 8 hours, and we didn't talk about it. So
we hadn't seen it.
We hadn't seen it, but Todd
in the first scene. So
Todd was very well behaved. He didn't spoil
very
anything.
well behaved.
Yep.
So anyway, but there's going to be spoilers. So whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But
we're going to talk about the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, then you're in the wrong place.
Exactly. But go see it. Come back. We'll be here. Let's go some random. Do I have random? I do have random. Darryl, what do you got?
Oh, I don't think I have any random. I didn't prepare any.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'll pass it off.
Brian?
Yeah. This will also lead into a little bit of criticism of your guys' review from last week. But Strange New Worlds, there's some announcements at Comic-Con that they're going to do even more Stranger Things in Season 3, and they're going to explore new genres that they've never explored in Star Trek before. I, for one, wish they would explore the genre of Star Trek. I think that would be a great idea.
Isn't it Season 4 that they're going to do, that they're talking about doing?
The puppet episode is Season 4.
They're turning half the crew into Vulcans this season.
Oh, but we've known that for 6 months. That was the teaser they showed us.
And the first episode was Alien. The second episode was the Trelane episode. And the third episode was The Last of Us. It's like, is there an original idea in the writing room?
I know. I'm enjoying it for what it is, but you don't be fancy. Just do Star Trek.
I
agree. I agree with that.
Just do Star Trek.
Well, and that's what we loved about this show when it first started, right? That it felt like a return to, a story of the week with a little bit of a thread them running through it, and it feels like they've maybe gotten a little bit away from that.
It's gotten let's what can we do? What can we do? Next Generation wasn't copying movies in the movie theater until like season 6. These guys are doing it in season 3.
And I know most people seem to enjoy the singing episode. I wasn't really a fan of it, and I don't really need to see an episode where they turn the crew into Muppets.
It would be a great short.
Yes.
If they do
sure.
Do that as a short. And then
there is another where they're all dressed up as something like. There's 50 plus years of Star Trek. Let's just do. I'd rather have you loosely redo some episodes than
So here's the thing: they got away from the one torturous season-long thing, which is what we saw with Discovery. There was always one MacGuffin that they spent the entire season hand-wringing over, having therapy over, or whatever. And so now it's a bunch of different things. I would like, as you said, I would like to see some more standard kind of Trek episodes, but I think they're trying to make every episode different in some way. And I think that may be a little too much of the mission right now.
Yeah, did you guys all see this past the third episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Zombies, and they even made the joke, don't say the Z word. Well, but they were zombies,
and they're plant zombies from The Last of Us, right? It's like, come on.
But they were Klingon plant zombies. So
no, there were human zombies
totally
too.
They were both.
Yep, they're both.
I'm trying to enjoy it for what it is, but You make a very good
Well,
point.
the third episode started so well. It's like Pike's girlfriend slash captain person needs this one plant and this one planet that's inside the neutral zone. Okay, cool. That's a Star Trek episode.
That's enough. You don't need to.
That's enough. They don't have to have zombies when you get there.
Well, and they also didn't really need the Klingon female that was specifically like hunting the doctor. Like
that was just.
I
was a
didn't
little
need to have a
far-fetched
problem. If they had just flown
like,
and got the plant and left, it would have been nothing.
Right. So that ship wasn't pursuing them. That ship just happened to be the ship that showed up when the beacon went off, and was like, "Oh, score! This is the guy I've been searching the universe for."
I will say this though, it was really awesome to see the Klingon battlecruiser.
It was
in full scale, much bigger than the Enterprise. Like I enjoyed that aspect of it, but
it was fine. I mean, we know what Star Trek is like, even though
I really want to see I want to see original series Klingons show up.
Well, this will be interesting because something else they said at Comic-Con that verified something Todd had said is that they're going to spend the last season spinning all the way up to the first episode of TOS. They're spinning all the way up to Kirk on the Enterprise. It's going to be their last episode
without a commitment yet to move forward with that.
Right, they're talking about Star Trek Year One,
But what we were talking about last week,
and that's what they should.
On the Enterprise, they're not going to TOS, which is several years into the end.
No, they're probably about a year before TOS, but it'll be Kirk's first day on the Enterprise.
I think that'd be awesome if they do it the right way.
Interesting, and I think they could probably squeeze a couple years in there, and at least a couple seasons. Yeah,
but if they're gonna do this bullshit. It's like if they're gonna do Star Trek TOS, you better be doing Star Trek, not this nonsense.
Yeah,
I don't need to see Kirk versus zombies or Kirk versus aliens.
I just want to know how in the last episode of season 5 they make the ship so much smaller and lower tech. That's what
What I'm curious about,
Mike's
what
leaving,
are the
odds? Let's take all these control panels out and let's bring the plywood in.
Some plywood and some Christmas lights. Come on.
Yep.
What are the odds of Pike's girlfriend becoming the human Gorn hybrid that looks like the arena Gorn?
Wouldn't that be funny?
I wonder if that's where they're going with
Wouldn't
that.
that be funny?
Okay.
She's like the mother of the.
But not everything needs to tie together. We always say that too.
Yeah,
but
I know.
Well, I don't want that to happen at all, but it sure as hell feels like they're headed that way.
Yeah, they're doing something with that.
Let me ask you this: does she live or die?
I don't know. Who knows what they could do?
She dies. She is off the board before the series ends because remember what Pike's destiny is. Pike isn't reunited with her. Pike is brought back to Vina. So something's got to happen to her. She's not Pike's caregiver when she's already gone by the time Pike's accident happened.
She's heading down Gorn Highway.
He's going to take the assignment at Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
There's a whole other can of worms.
That's a discussion for another.
So Dave, you got a random, Dave?
I do. Well, my random isn't any. I just the two things that aren't. When I saw Fantastic Four, there was a trailer for the third Avatar.
Yes, me too.
Oh my God, James Cameron, you are so much better than this. Why are you doing this? That's all I have to say. I know he listens to the show. Why you're better than this? Why are you doing this?
This is creative person who no one will say no to. That's what
the subtitle for this should be Avatar 3. Really? Why?
Because he's made some of the most successful movies of all time, and he gets to do whatever he wants.
But make something better. And then I saw, just jumping around because these are just short things, I saw a headline on an article that said, underrated movies of the 70s, mind-blowing films like, and there's a picture of Sean Connery in the Zardoz. I'm like, I didn't read the article, but...
Oh, no.
It's not underrated.
Well, it's mind-blowing.
It's rated exactly how it should be.
It's appropriately
horribly. It's horribly rated. I'll just go through all my stuff because none of it. You know, your girlfriend Bix is going to be in the third remake of the third version of the Thomas Crown Affair.
Okay,
I guess she plays the Renee Russo Faye Dunaway character.
They are still talking about her potentially for Wonder Woman too. So
Jeez,
Well,
they just have nothing else to talk about.
I actually think she would be great, and I think that's the way they should go. They should go the more kind of exotic thing versus, you know. But
It needs to be the girl from Comic-Con that I sent you that picture of.
She is
'Cause
everywhere on.
she's
on-
everywhere.
She's
now.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
she was on Mythbusters Junior. I remember her from that, and then they
Really?
showed pictures of it. Yeah,
I
but now
think she
she's-
was like a beauty queen too.
Yeah,
Like she was
yeah,
Miss
she was.
something. I don't know what state.
I can't
she
get
was
away
Miss.
from her feed now at all. But
Yeah, it comes up since you sent me that link. It's all that
it's
comes up in my feed.
everywhere.
She's
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. But
it's okay.
I mean,
She
she looks
she's-
great. She
looks really good.
classic Wonder Woman.
Okay,
Anyway,
again.
Barry, what do you got?
I'm taking us back to Star Trek for a minute. There was a ton of stuff discussed at Comic-Con. I know it's been covered everywhere else, so I know we're not going to go deep on any of it. But they did give some information on Starfleet Academy. None of it which made me feel any better about the prospects of that show. But I found this interesting. So one of the ships, or the big ship on the show, is the USS Athens. They're saying it's the largest set ever constructed for TV. It's the biggest set in North America, period. That doesn't make me feel good that they've spent that much money, that they've built the largest set ever in North America.
Do we know when this takes place?
The 31st century.
same time.
Does
as
it really?
Discovery ended.
Ugh, which
They're,
is so
they're
not
reintroducing
interesting.
Starfleet Academy post Discovery, and this is going to be the first.
Oh, they're
class.
restarting it because Starfleet fell apart. Oh,
Right.
okay.
So this is the first class going back through the Academy after all that.
So this
what-
is technology really is magic land. then.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be the everyone's feelings and all the bullshit that we hated about Discovery. That's exactly what it's going to be. It should have taken place in Strange New Worlds era.
I don't understand. They must. I mean, how much they've committed to it, that they've literally built the largest set ever for a television show. So I have such low expectations that it all it can do is surprise me one way or another. But
It already looks like the 90210 of the 2026. You know,
Yeah,
like all these diverse kids, and they're all beautiful and they're shirtless and like,
So basically,
awful.
you're saying Star Trek, the Acolyte. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Worse than that. There's probably no one kills anybody.
That's unfortunate.
But I just
I got one other, since we're just sort of throwing them out there. We should all pour one out. I think everybody knows by now, but Resident Alien has been canceled.
Oh,
I'm thoroughly enjoying this current season.
I
It's
haven't watched.
great. But I guess they knew that there was a good chance that they were going to be canceled. So that apparently they do wrap up a lot of storylines, they've said. I don't know if it's completely wrapped up or if it does have
well,
any kind of.
he's so busy. I'm surprised he can do it at all.
He
He's
said
everywhere.
they may do a movie. Actually, I heard.
Yeah, I
saw
think
a
that's
headline.
just the cast's hoping. I don't think that anybody officially said
You
that.
got what? 5 years? It's a good run. What do you in this thing?
Well, no, we're in season 4 now.
The reason
All right, you got 4 years.
The reason they anticipated being canceled was it's on Sci-Fi,
Yeah.
and nothing.
Sci-Fi is lucky it even hangs
That's
on.
what
as
I'm
a
saying.
network.
I was really surprised Sci-Fi gave him 4 years.
Who owns Sci-Fi now? What piece of shit? Warner Brothers or Paramount? Is it either
think
one of
it's
those
Skippy.
scumbags?
No, isn't Sci-Fi part of Universal?
Yeah, probably Comcast Universal.
Yeah, I
That's
think it's.
the good guys.
Well,
yeah, but it'll be thrown into the cable network, not the streaming stuff. So yeah, it does look dire.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're at least making an attempt to wrap up some of the storylines, because we all know there's nothing more that I hate than getting 4 years into a show and getting invested and it just ends with no conclusion. So
But enough about Lost.
Anyone else?
I
Oh,
got,
sorry. I got Universal. I got the Universal Sci-Fi thing confused with the Paramount merger with Skydance.
Oh, yeah.
which is-
yes,
Those are pieces of shit.
yeah. So there's a random topic that is going to
Yeah.
change
Let's
massively.
let's cancel Colbert, because to get another billionaire needs his freaking thing. They're all scumbags. I'm glad. I used to do a ton of business with Paramount. I'm so glad I'm not.
well,
doing
I'm
that
just
shit
I'm
anymore.
just happy that they canceled Colbert. I'm not happy about that, but then they gave $1.5 billion to the South Park guys, and they're doing what they always do best. So
They're going to have the rug pulled out from under them. I'm telling you.
I don't know. The season
They
premiere of
absolutely
South
will.
Park
They-
was
they
one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's exactly why they're going to have it pull. He is whatever. Let's not go down political road.
Everybody laughs until you end up at Guantanamo. That's all I'm saying.
No, alligator Alcatraz.
Yep. So,
Todd.
David S. Goyer, who I like a lot, who co-wrote Batman Begins. Little misstep on Man of Steel, but I think that was, he was following the direction he was given. He just commented on Superman, and I have, like I said, my respect for him has never diminished. But I got to say, it was really good to hear this story. He says, I really liked it. People assume that because I did Dark Knight, I wouldn't like Batman, but I really enjoyed it. Each generation gets the Superman they need. It felt like the pendulum with Man of Steel obviously was a much darker, grounded version, and that we were in a different place. I just loved that tagline was "Kindness is punk rock." He also said David Cornsweet was terrific. He said in a million years he never would have come up with the idea of using crypto, which he thinks is brilliant. And he went on to say really great things about James Gunn using Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, etc. And again, very, very classy. And, here's a guy who set the tone for Superman for a decade. And now that's shifted, acknowledges that we have the Superman that we need. And I think that's terrific. So
Awesome.
like I said, if you're not watching Sandman, he's a producer on Sandman and writer. And that second season is very, very good.
You know who's awesome? Fanboy Collectibles. Lots of new stuff. Hera from Ahsoka in stock. Does anyone have that on pre-order? We should.
No, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look amazing. A lot of hot toys. Die-cast RoboCop. Now that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. And they've got a big chap alien from the first Alien movie that looks really good.
There is also Hot Toys Fantastic Four, including Galactus, that's almost 28 inches tall. Not to scale, but as much as you can get out of it, which is
in terms of
amazing.
actual figures, I think it is now the largest Hot Toys figure because it's a couple. I measured. It's a couple inches taller than the Hulkbuster.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those figures look really good.
It'll give you a sense of scale in the display case, even though he's not true to size.
And it also comes with scaled Fantastic Four figures. So
it does. I didn't realize that.
Those are tiny little Fantastic Four figures.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what they've also got up for pre-order, which I think looks unbelievable, is the Iron Studio Gremlins diorama. Did you look at that closely?
It's Gremlins, amazing. Yeah, and the Predator looks awesome too. Yeah, there's Iron Studios Predator. There's the one that one, and then there's a Leia and your buddy Wicket.
Yeah, gotta love Wicket.
So,
yes, if you zoom in the pictures, they've got I was just thinking, God, did I pick the wrong? Was that a statue? But yes, Galactus does have little, tiny Fantastic Four figures that you can have attacking him. Yeah.
All right, there's a lot of cool stuff. So check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Cool. I just broke my pencil. Okay. We're talking about Fantastic Four. Does anyone want to start? Barry.
Yeah.
I can start.
I want Barry to start. I feel like when we talked
he was the most,
you were most excited for Fantastic Four, where I know I was the most excited for Superman. I think Todd was hesitant on Fantastic Four and encouraged on Superman. I think that may be
well,
correct.
and I loved Fantastic Four when I was a kid. I read the comics. I don't know the decades-long history of every.
It's incredibly convoluted, so it doesn't matter.
But I specifically, in the 70s, I read the comics and I loved them, and I've been disappointed with pretty much every iteration up until this point, as I think most people were. I absolutely loved this movie. I thought this movie was great. Every aspect of it. Loved every bit of it.
Wow.
Interesting.
I was not disappointed. And I watched the trailers, so I know there are things that they showed us in the trailers that didn't make it to the final cut. So clearly they were editing all the way up till the last minute. But I think the final product we got was really, really good.
Interesting.
Now tell me that you hated it.
No. Darryl, what do you have to say about it?
So I went in, interestingly, for both Superman and Fantastic Four. My wife Patty wanted to watch both those with me, so there was something in the air for marketing for both of these movies that pulled her in and made her want to see it. Something about either the tone. I think with Fantastic Four, the mid-century setting kind of got us because we both liked that a lot. But we both saw these, and we both enjoyed the films, immensely. I think there were some problems with Fantastic Four, but little quibbles. We can talk about that. But overall, just like Superman, I thought it was tonally kind of the right thing that Marvel needed. It was just a light movie. This was like a bottle movie, but it kind of reset things in a lot of ways. Both of these movies, I think, are kind of the superhero movies we need now to kind of, reset our frame of reference to remember how fun they can be. They were both fun movies.
It was very standalone. Like you really didn't need anything about any 30. This is their 37th movie.
Ironically, in the last 2 weeks, Kevin Feige has been giving interviews saying, "Oh, this is a completely standalone film. You don't need to have anything to see it." They should have been marketing it that way months ago.
Yeah, true. Why doesn't everyone give their first initial thoughts in 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll dig into it?
Yeah.
Brian?
Liked it. I liked it a lot. Not as much as Superman, but I liked it a lot. A little too much baby stuff in it for me. I mean, they won't let pregnant women fly, much less send them into space.
Man, it was the 60s. You could smoke and drink back then.
It's another universe, Brian. They have different rules.
Yeah, so otherwise, a little too much baby stuff, but I really enjoyed it. And it did not suffer from the dreaded indestructible people fighting each other. It was that they were very destructible, and they still managed to beat him anyway. And I thought that was refreshing. Mm-hmm. That was my one criticism of Superman, was the indestructible people fighting each other. Otherwise, it was a great movie as well.
I don't feel like he was indestructible anymore. Anyway, that's
let's
fine.
Put a pin in that. I want to get back to that with Superman a little bit.
Todd?
I'll go last, Dave. Go ahead.
I thought it was very good. I didn't think it was great. I think, I'm looking at it two ways. If I pull out from it, I don't think it did what Marvel needs right now. They need it to be amazing. The box office is good, but they need a blockbuster. I don't know that it's going to do that. I think my fears of, I don't think any of the three humans were the right cast for this movie at all.
That was an issue I had too, Dave.
I was worried about that.
Especially Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and whatever that dude from Stranger Things name is. I mean, like, Owen Wilson is 60 years old with blonde hair, and his hair still looks blonde. You couldn't get this guy's hair to look blonde. I didn't feel anything from those people. So I enjoyed it, but it just didn't. And we'll get into this. After Superman, and when I was sitting the next day thinking, there were so many things filtering through my head about how great Superman was. None of that happened with this. It was good. It just wasn't amazing, and I feel like it needed to be amazing. So, Todd?
Okay. Has anyone else here seen every Fantastic Four film?
No.
Yes.
I think I have.
I've seen
including
the Roger Corman one.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is, without question, the best Fantastic Four film ever.
Without question. Yeah.
Okay. And I think this is the best Fantastic Four film you can make. I think these are very challenging characters. I think the concept is hugely dated. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying this is a perfect film, and I'm not saying it's a great film. I don't know how you can do this better.
Yep.
And I've seen it twice now, and I got to say, other than completely throwing away the concept, the original the essence of who the characters are and all that, which they did in the last incarnation. Okay, staying true to the core of who these characters are, staying to the original essence of the story. This is the best version of this I think is possible. I think putting them in a universe by themselves, giving them a variety of weird, odd adversaries like Mole Man and the Red Ghost and all those kind of things, and making them the heroes of this planet totally fits in with who the Fantastic Four were back in the day. I think changing the characters in the ways that they had to, they had to update Sue a little bit, and because of that, they had to make Johnny the empathetic one. I think they're all acceptable. But I think, like I said, Superman is a tough property to make. This is tougher. I really think it is tougher to take those 4 characters and sell it to people today. They are as 1960 as 1960 gets. I think it was brilliant to set it back in time. And I think, in a version of the 1960s. And I think, like I said, I think they did a fantastic job with this film. I really.
Todd, you're the story guy in the group, and I think that they should have made Mr. Fantastic a complete egghead, but Pedro couldn't play a complete egg. He should have been a complete unfeeling egghead until his kid was sacrificed, and that changes everything in him. And they completely missed the boat on that.
So they did make him a little bit aloof and a little bit hard to relate to, and a little. I mean, they had some things in his character,
and then they cast the most relatable guy in the world to play him.
But I was going to say, I actually thought he was much better in this than I thought he was going to be going in. I think that they dialed it back, and he wasn't as charming as Pedro Pascal is. I thought that he was more of an egghead.
He was well cast, but I think they did a really good job with that character, and with who they had with that character. And I think, like I said, they didn't make him. I mean, they took away 90% of Pedro Pascal's personality to make this character work.
I think the story and the setting and the universe and all that was good. I think the thing that could have brought this to the next level was better casting, and I mean, maybe it's just me. I think of that guy, David Cornsweet. He's my Superman now. I think he was amazing. He lit up the screen.
His what it is to be human speech. There's nothing like that in Fantastic Four.
But I don't know that it's fair to compare these two movies. Like, no, they're very different things.
I am portraying characters.
Fantastic Four. And that's the thing. And that's the problem with this. These, again, these are old archetypes that, you can have one old archetype.
The oldest archetype in the comics.
That's a single
business.
Character, Dave.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody else was living in the 21st century except Superman in that film. Okay.
I just think, this Matt Shankman. Did you listen to the Props podcast interview with him, Barry?
Yeah,
it's actually really good, and I give the guy a ton of credit. But it just did not. There was nothing compelling about any of the 3 human characters. Thing was more compelling than anyone else, and he was CGI. And then the other thing,
it wasn't all CGI. There was a bunch of men in suit in that.
But even if you look at Herbie, I look at Herbie, and then I think to myself, what are Herbie's contemporaries? BB-8, Gary from Superman, even Rocket to a little bit of a degree. Herbie should have been, oh my God, that's like the standout, the Crypto. And it wasn't. It was nothing special.
There are versions of the Fantastic Four Hot Toys figures where basically for $30 more you get Herbie. Okay. Okay.
No, but what I mean, Herbie should have been like, oh my God, I fell in love with Herbie.
Maybe not on Brian's level, but I have a shelf full of robots.
But you know what, Dave? With 4 main characters, you can't make the robot the standout character.
No, you can't. But
JJ did it in Star Wars with BB-8. Has way more personality than Herbie, and he communicates less. I just think they just missed the boat on these characters.
If they make a figure of number 4/Gary, I will buy him and I will put him on my shelf of robots. Okay. Herbie's, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dave, I think you got to hit the nail on the head. They had a chance to get 10.0 scores across the board on this, and they only hit 8s and 9s.
Yeah, if that.
And they could, it feels like it was a really good movie. The setting was perfect. The set designs were fantastic.
They went with stunt casting.
Costumes were good. And
flavors of the day casting. And
they so disagree with you on that, Dave. Vanessa Kirby's not flavor of the day. She's not like this huge star.
No, she's not. She is
so not. She doesn't even look.
I thought Vanessa Kirby was great. Her point of view
was great.
Was mother protective. I got that. That was great.
So her character was the one that they updated the most. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about that, Todd, because she is the most powerful.
60s Fantastic Four, and it's basically, go away, Sue, men are talking. Okay. It was seriously, it was bad.
There was a run where she was the head of the foundation and all that. That was much later.
And I'm saying, but they went right to that version of her. And the other thing was, but in modernizing that character and making her more assertive and more in charge, they had to shift some things around. And I think, like I said, I think they made good choices with that. I think, like I said, making Johnny, who has no role, other than to be this kind of the reckless one, making him the empathetic one, making him the one that, could relate to the Silver Surfer is why they had the gender flip the Silver Surfer. And I think that worked.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I think that worked that way.
I think it worked.
Because the whole thing in Fantastic Four lore is Sue is the one who makes the connection with the Silver Surfer. And
we can't get into the comics lore. That's not what's on the screen, though.
I'm saying,
but it worked for the story. Changing it worked for this movie. I
like Chris Evans'
so
Johnny
far off
Storm better than I like
this.
this guy. This guy is just there's nothing to this guy.
I didn't think it was that bad. I
disagree.
I think this was a good Johnny Storm with a bad dye job.
Yeah,
Pedro was it could be such a compelling character, even compelling to where you look at what was that, A Beautiful Mind, like that kind of thing. This guy is so wrapped up in his stuff, like that kind of performance. You really could have got at it.
But then the
writing
probably
and the
wouldn't be a
both.
family man if he was that guy. Like
you got to balance.
That's never been who Reed Richards was.
Right.
But that's
so Todd, did they?
You should have been compelled by the guy, whatever his.
I actually thought he was great in that role. So
really,
yes,
I think he did far better than he far exceeded my expectations.
Todd, was Sue Richards' powers? Have we ever seen those before, or is this
the force field abilities came in? Like,
the force field
by mid-60s, yeah.
But the ability to basically move Galactus, this unmovable thing,
and that was force field thing. And that was she
almost was never invisible. It was more force field.
Never did
stuff.
that. Yeah, it was almost all force field powers.
Well, and they didn't even show Reed stretching that.
I know that was a little like.
No.
I actually thought that they were reserved with it, and that was good.
That's a good thing.
It looks dorky as hell. That's one of the things that does not update well. Okay, I thought.
And I've worked on developing a Stretch Armstrong movie, so I can 100% back that up, Todd.
Yeah.
It is a bad superpower.
It's just a bad superpower. It's why elongated man, is always going to be a backup. He's never going to his own title.
I wanted to see him turn into like a boat, like Elastigirl.
But this was one of the things I liked about the way they portrayed him was that his superpower was his smarts, not so much his strength or his ability to stretch.
And that's where
they relied on the other team members to be the strong ones.
I agree 100%, Barry. And that's where I think one of the things that they should not have cut was in her conversation with him, where she was basically, she said that they really hadn't changed. That Ben was always a rock, et cetera. It was like. And they also, I think you very much got the sense, the family sense with them, that they belonged together, that this wasn't a team. This was basically a family. That's part of this. It's a dated concept, but it works.
I loved it.
They made that work better than they had in any of the previous films.
Oh, they didn't exist in the previous movies.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, again, well,
Well, it should have, but not the last one for sure. But
no, no,
that could be the worst superhero movie ever made. That last one.
it's pretty bad.
It is really bad.
I will
All
say,
right.
my favorite member of the team has always been Ben Grimm. They've never come close to capturing Ben Grimm like this, and that he was perfect. Okay, Ben Grimm is not like dark and broody and woe is me all the time. He has he momentarily will go there. Obviously, this guy is basically trapped in a rock body. Okay, but he's jovial. He's playful with Johnny. He's protective of everybody else. They captured that character perfectly because that one character that characterization is timeless. And
I love the whole business about he doesn't say it's clobbering time. That's only in the TV show.
The cartoon
is
awesome.
Great. And I love that they had a Fantastic Four cartoon.
That was so fun.
And I also love the little kind of aside thing with Natasha Lyonne, the teacher at the synagogue. I thought that was
perfect. And the Brooklyn Dodgers had. I wonder if on that earth if the Dodgers didn't move to Los Angeles.
So
well, it was still the 60s.
It's
so
62.
Yeah. It's interesting that
they moved in 58,
50s, yeah, 56, I think. It's funny that even the license plates said like they were the World's Fair license plates from 1964, which was like really.
They did a great job on that whole retro future.
Really
aesthetic.
They really
I thought that was really good.
That was great. They sell those watches. You cannot get them. Fossil's making those watches.
Oh,
They're
really?
sold out. I tried
the
to buy
World's
them.
Fair watch?
No. The watches that they wore. They wore these like Dick Tracy looking communicator watches, and Fossil's making them.
Oh,
sold out. Everyone went to.
Did you catch that the space agency was ANSA, like in Planet of the Apes?
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Matt, this guy who directed it, he listened to that interview on the Stuff Jim's made. He's a real nerd from way back. Big Planet of the Apes fan.
They
it
built
had
their
plenty of really,
ship.
really great stuff in it. It's just a few distracting things took away from it, and Pedro being for the one for me. Other than
so I do have a couple of quibbles. One was just how powerful Sue was, because she seemed the one to move Galactus. I know it was Reed Richards' plan to have him move into this thing, but
how did he not come with getting him into that thing before moving the world? That was a little ridiculous. You're the smartest man on the planet, and you think let's move the planet before you think
move the planet to where exactly? Also,
well, they were just going to move it somewhere.
Right.
Hopefully with the sun and a good stable orbit.
Well,
that's the same thing. There's no gate where he moves it to.
They were going to move into the right zone of another soul.
That's seen Space 1999 yet, so they didn't know the impact of moving the planet away.
But that was like, seriously, that's what you come up with?
Yeah.
But one of my biggest was so Galactus moves at faster than light speed from wherever he was to Jupiter, basically.
And then it's like a month.
And then it takes like 3 days.
Well,
enough time to build
impulse
all these
power.
Yeah, once he comes out of light speed, he's going slow.
To get
was
to
he
Earth,
even going light speed?
really
slow. Or whatever it was to get there. Yeah,
that was the little. Everything is retro except they have the Jedi faster than light drive, which was a little much.
So these things are such tropes.
They had flying cars too, Dave.
That these things pull me out of the story so much. It's like, what now? How did he get here? But now it's going so slow.
I was thinking the same thing.
And then the obvious countdown. 10 seconds to get him through the gate. Yeah, I mean, I guess we need that for the real sense of urgency, but it's just so commonplace, such a trope.
So I'm going to say this. There's all these stories of like women lifting cars off their babies and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is so far beyond anything Sue was capable of doing or believed she was capable of doing until she had to do it to save her child.
Well, it did kill her.
It killed her. It literally killed her.
Yeah, it killed her.
And she gave it her all.
I'm surprised he was able to find the baby.
Her powers. They never would have tested her powers
in the building
to the limit of killing her, but she was willing to do that. So I can give a pass on that.
Okay.
But again, it's a superhero movie with characters created in 1960. You've really got to suspend disbelief in a number of ways. But I also always say this. I like the Silver Surfer sacrifice. I thought that was good too.
Yep.
Yep.
That was
Well,
good.
just talking about Silver Surfer for a second, the initial trailers, the Silver Surfer effect, I was a little concerned about it,
Yeah,
but
it
on the
really
big
got
screen, I
better.
thought it looked
Yeah.
really good.
Except that her face is the face of the actress that you need to see the actress. You never saw Doug Jones. You didn't see him in Silver Surfer. I don't know. It
Well,
was a
but
little.
when they showed her in her original form before she became Silver Surfer, then you could relate who it was.
Yes. Yeah.
The surfboard
saying
is
she
not
looked
part of
too
her
much
body.
like
That's really
her.
important.
The what?
The surfboard is not part of her body. That's really important.
I didn't get what
Well,
that
but
meant.
Dave, it had to
That's
look
the
like her
line from
because
the
there were
movie.
scenes of her before she became Silver Surfer. Why would she look different?
Well, because the regular Silver Surfer in the comics never really looked like himself.
He looked like a statue.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah,
He might have
more like a
looked
statue.
like what he looked like before he got turned into Silver Surfer.
No, they showed him.
Look, no, he did. We saw him. We saw that character. He looked exactly like Silver Surfer, except human with ears. In fact, he was bald. Okay.
No.
He just, when they made him Silver Surfer, he lost his ears
I hate when that
for
happens.
some reason. We don't understand. So, yeah.
Well, I also like that they did a lot. I mean, they built a 14-foot model of their ship, so that a lot of that footage was an actual model, which I liked. And
Oh, cool.
Herbie on set was mostly practical too, which I liked. And
He's
liked,
already at Disneyland.
yeah,
Well,
I know.
wait,
I like
I
that
saw
when
your buddy Michael McMaster with him. He did a whole tour of New York and L.A.
Yeah.
with a Herbie. Did
Yeah.
he build him or
Did
did
he
he
build
just
it?
I have no idea. I got to get hold of him. This was a complete surprise to me.
There's
too.
pictures everywhere of him.
Yeah.
Herbie, I feel like Herbie could have been the thing. Like he's this year's Baby Yoda, and they dropped the ball on Herbie.
But it wasn't.
I didn't think so. I actually really I like that
Okay.
that Reed puts different cartridges in his face depending on whether he's in
And
space
they
or
they basically needed a fifth character to watch the baby and stuff.
he was analog, really.
and it was
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I mean, I think he was cool, and I do love the thing, but just somebody, you need the right director to humanize an inanimate object character, and it's been done better. You know,
You're
It's
just
still-
wrong this time, Dave. Just accept it. You're wrong.
I'm not.
Barry,
I talked to
please-
several
I
people
did
who
not
totally
find Herbie
agree.
tremendously compelling, but I don't think he needed to be.
Me
I
either.
think he had a role. There was a function there for him. You know, they're not going to sell a ton of Herbie toys. I think it was really. I think they could have spun that way if they wanted to. But
I'm
was
not even
basically-
saying to sell the toys, but to
He
be
was
like,
he was
boy,
a
that
plot
robot has a
device.
ton of personality,
Okay.
and it didn't.
He was a plot device that they established that he existed, and then they used him to guard the baby when they were all out fighting and stuff. You know, that's about it.
I mean, it's Barry. We have lots of quibbles, but it's still the best Marvel movie in a while.
Yeah, well, and I assumed this was going to end with them somehow ending up in the other Marvel universe, and I'm actually kind of glad that they didn't go there until the post-credit scene, and even then they didn't go there. They just,
Yeah, that post-credit scene is a whole nother problem.
but I like that it really was a standalone movie that you could see this without having ever seen another Marvel movie. I don't know why you would, but you could.
Yeah.
And I think that they needed that. Like I actually think this did its job. And I think that
it was
the cast
super enjoyable.
did their job.
Patty liked watching it. It was fun. I think
I'm going to see it again tomorrow night.
So
I actually want to see an IMAX. I've seen pictures that people
I
have
have-
posted of
I do too. Yeah.
Galactus in IMAX, and it's
Oh.
a much taller image, and it looks really cool.
I've been trying to think of what my one nitpick that I remember from the movie was, and I just realized if you're gonna do the baby swap, okay, why would you not have the person who can turn invisible do it? Okay,
Why not?
So why would
There-
that
that
why would you
was
have the flaming guy, you know, swap the babies
Because he can
To draw
fly
the
and
most
she can't.
attention.
He needed to quickly
The
get the
most
baby
attention.
from one place to the
Yeah,
other.
Yeah, but you have the invisible person swap the babies. Okay,
But
She
like,
can't
you
fly. She
didn't
would have to
think-
run with
Well,
it.
she could
He could
run, but she could
sense
also make the baby
the
invisible
baby.
with her.
that was a little.
So, anyways, but
I saw something which is ridiculous. The Russo brothers, who I love, but I'm worried about them. They showed reactions. You know how they show audience reactions of stuff, audience reactions of the Doctor Doom thing, with all these people look like they saw the second coming of Christ or something. Like, seriously? Like, I am so worried about this Robert. They're gonna just screw this up with this Robert
I
Downey
hope
Jr.
that is the only time his mask is ever off. That's all.
They're gonna
I
mess
think
this
Dave
up.
is just soured on Marvel.
Who isn't?
I'm not.
No,
I give them their props when they make a good movie, and this was a
I
good
said
one.
I
like
thought
the
it was very
Thunderbolts
good, but
I like
there's
the
issues.
Thunderbolts immensely. I like this a great deal.
The characterizations in the Thunderbolts are more compelling than the three human characters in this.
These are characters who are fairly one-dimensional, okay, in their most common incarnations, and then as different writers and people have done it over the years, they've added a little things to them, but those things have always receded back to kind of the stable core.
Anyone could make a character interesting on film, and that's the director. I mean, and the writing. I just don't. Characters were not
Pedro
fleshed
Pascal
out
was,
enough.
Pedro was distracting in this movie, and I'm afraid Downey Jr. is going to be distracting in the next movie in the same way. And that got me worried as well.
If he takes his mask off in that movie and it looks like Robert Downey Jr., the Marvel universe could be destroyed.
I don't know.
I don't think you will ever see that mask off him.
I don't know
why he's even in this movie.
I didn't see The Mandalorian when I saw Pedro in this, and I didn't see Joel from The Last of Us.
I didn't
saw
either,
Reed Richards. It's great. I understand that he's in a lot of stuff now, but I didn't feel like he was distracting.
I don't think he was distracting. I just think he wasn't compelling. I think they're making too much of Robert Downey Jr.
Wasn't there a trailer
those scenes when
for
they come
another
back
movie with him
and
in it?
everybody is expecting him to say, "Oh yeah, we've got you covered," and he's like, and they're asking him if they're safe, and that whole delivery of I don't know. Like, I thought it was very in character.
I do. And I love the things that they did to try to make him relatable, but it didn't quite make him. It's like they were making like the Mr. Fantastic TV show, where like he was trying to be relatable to kids and not pulling it off. Okay, things like that were funny. They did a good. I thought that was a good job. I mean, if you like said make Reed Richards into Tony Stark or Steve Rogers or even
well,
Bruce
they tried
Banner,
that in the last couple of incarnations, and they failed.
Not Reed Richards anymore. Okay, Reed Richards is a guy that is Albert Einstein who forgets to shave, and that's why he has stubble when nobody else does.
Now you're making up an excuse for Pedro not wanting to change his look.
Anyways, I don't have that much problem with it. I like the film a lot. I'm not saying it's a perfect film. I have a hard time coming up with how they could make it better, though. Given the story they had to tell, given the characters they had to work with, the thing they've got the thing they've gotten wrong. They've never gotten the thing right before. They did. This Johnny was very good. He was more of a useful character than he's ever been. I think this Reed was decent, and I think she was very good. And I don't think she was the flavor of the week. I think they needed a strong female lead for this, and that's what they found and cast, and it worked. She conveyed strength and competence, but also a maternal sense that they needed at the same time.
I mean, casting Jessica Alba was casting the hot young actress of the
absolutely.
minute.
She was great.
She
was good. I'd
Kate
like to have seen her.
And do you know they put the original? All four members of the Roger Corman Fantastic Four had cameos in this film.
I heard that last week.
I think
I want to see someone point them out to me because I couldn't see them.
There's videos online.
And the Thank You Fantastic Four montages, they're all in there.
The Human Torch when he gives a salute to that's the original Human Torch.
Yeah,
and actually, they showed the trailer of this in the Alamo. The thing did not look horrible in that movie. It actually looked for 90s for no budget. It looked pretty good. Better than the two last movies.
Better than the last two. That's true.
Oh, you're saying in the original one?
Yeah.
Corman?
Oh yeah, it just wasn't the character wasn't right. I mean, none of those characters were
I'm
right.
just saying the look.
So yeah. But
do you guys think this did what Marvel needed to do at this point? I mean, Marvel needs a big win, and
Well, Marvel needed to not screw up the Fantastic Four if they plan to use these characters in their next big thing, and so from that point of view,
That's right.
it was
They're
totally successful.
They're building to some really big stuff, and that's what this is. This is their Captain America for the next whatever phase we're in.
Is
right?
it? I don't think so. I don't know what Marvel's plan is for Fantastic Four. I looked at this as like a bottle movie.
No,
I think Reed Richards is going to be
couple of
involved
Avengers movies.
in the Doomsday stuff. I think
Oh,
all of them
absolutely.
will be.
Absolutely.
But I also just thought it was nice, and Todd, maybe you'd appreciate this more than anybody else, but they gave Jack Kirby his due in this one, where
very
he
much
doesn't usually get acknowledged the way that Stan Lee does.
They acknowledged him and they gave him a quote.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that was worthwhile that they
a
did
really
that.
poignant quote.
If anyone doubts for a second that Jack Kirby created the Fantastic Four, okay, Jack Kirby took the Challengers of the Unknown, which he created from whole cloth and had complete credit for creating, brought it to Marvel and gave them same exact story, basically gave them superpowers. This was an existing concept that he had worked. He brought it over to Marvel and massaged it. There's no Stan Lee in this. Okay, there isn't. And this was a Jack Kirby thing, and Jack Kirby should have been given a lot more credit for this. The classic Kirby Fantastic Four stuff is fantastic. It's epic. And I think that was way overdue.
Why do you think they put that end credit in the Thunderbolts when it didn't tie back to this? That was a little odd.
I still think this movie was supposed to come out before Thunderbolts. I think they got
No, this is a year later though. This is that is later. This is there's going to be stuff has to happen between this and that. I think Doctor Doom is going to present himself as a hero and say, "You need to help us come save our universe." I think
about Donald Trump now. What are you saying?
I think
in what though? There's
Doctor
Doom in Doomsday.
In Doctor Doom is going to feed them a bill of goods and bring them into that other universe.
But there's still one more movie that's got to have connective tissue, right? The next Spider-Man movie comes out before Doomsday.
Right.
Does it?
Yes.
That's supposed to be a pure Spider-Man story from what they're saying.
Well, but this was a pure, I mean, even well, first of all, the end credit scenes haven't always tied directly into the very next thing. Sometimes we see things out of sequence, but
what's next? I don't know that there is enough of anything next to sort of bridge it all together. Unless
Spider-Man is the next movie, and then after that, it's Doomsday.
I can't imagine we'd see this in Spider-Man. No, that's weird.
Well, but it could be in the end credits again.
I think I don't think Spider-Man is going to connect to this at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Well, but in the same way that Thunderbolts didn't connect to it, but at the end credits, there's something that ties it together.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. That's odd. I really would have thought. I thought at one point the story is going to be that they can't save the Earth, and they happen to be in space and just escape and get to our universe.
Dave, what I was thinking was going to happen was they were going to lure Galactus away from Earth.
Oh, that would have been better
and not be able to get back to their own Earth.
That would have made more sense.
Like get him into the negative zone or something like that. And then can't come out where they went in because it would beat Galactus.
That would have been good.
That's what I thought was happening. I thought they were going to banish Galactus, but lose their Earth in the process. That's what I think.
Now, I'm curious if they know Doctor Doom. I mean, Doctor Doom doesn't sound like he was on...
Fantastic Four villain. That's why I really think, I mean, from what we saw there's a couple things that can happen. He can kidnap the kid. Well, we've already seen a movie about that. I think he's going to come to them, mislead them, get them, bring them into the other universe. And that's.
If you can't trust
kind
a
of
guy
tough to say you're a good guy when your
suit.
name is Doctor Doom.
I think
my name is Dr. Doom. I have this horrible costume on, but trust me, please.
He's Victor Von Doom. He's not Doctor.
I'm your babysitter.
Okay, so now think about this. Here's the other thing. Okay, what is Victor Von Doom in the Fantastic Four? He is an old college friend of Reed Richards. Okay. We've been assuming that Doctor Doom originates in the MCU universe, the traditional MCU universe. He could be there from their universe and go to the other universe.
From 828. Yeah.
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 Okay. There you go.
I'm going into all of this cautiously optimistic. I can't imagine they're going to spend the money they're spending on Doomsday if they don't have like a fairly solid plan.
Yep.
They're spending all the money on that movie. I can't imagine.
So to Dave's dismay, one way or another, it is going to be a multiverse story because they've got these people in this other.
It has to be.
Yeah, if you look,
it has to be. But hopefully it ends. And we don't need a full movie about all the universes collapsing. But we got to get out of that.
Well, if you look at the cast of Avengers Doomsday, it's every frickin' person that we've seen in the MCU in the last couple of years.
That movie's not like 6
plus
hours
all the
long.
X-Men characters. I mean,
it's the Thunderbolt X-Men.
There actually was a Doctor Doom story where he collaborated with all the Doctor Dooms in the other universes, and then ultimately killed most of them. But so I love it. I mean, it could be that too. I mean, it could be there could be multiple one Doctor Doom in multiple universes. So.
One other thing I just thought was worth pointing out was I was a little worried they were going to do the full origin story in this, and I liked the fact that they basically covered the origin story in news footage in like a couple minutes, and we didn't have to sit through the whole origins again.
That's like the new thing, which is good because we don't need anyone's origin anymore.
James Gunn said that when he was talking about Superman. He said, we don't have to see Peter Parker get bit by a spider. We don't have to see the Waynes die in an alley. All that stuff is now just part of the mythology, and we know that. And you can do a real quick recap. I think the way they tied media into this because it was perfect. I thought it was really, really good. I mean, TV was the medium of the 60s. That Barry pointed this out in the first time we saw a trailer. Their stage on that guy's show was the Beatles stage.
The Beatles stage, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And they were the Fab Four. They were the pop culture sensation of that era in that world. And they were on every TV screen and cartoons are being made about them and all that. And I thought that was really well done. And the recapping of the origin, for the appearance in the talk show, I thought that was really, really good. So
and they're the only heroes on that world anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really loved the cartoon at the very end where they changed the characters from the 60s cartoons to look like the ones in the movie. That was awesome.
They made that special for the movie. There is a really good interview, like I said, on the Stuff Jim's Made a podcast with the director of this.
I'm listening to that now.
Yeah, no, he sounds great. He made me appreciate this movie a little more. I think he needs to work his characterizations out a little bit, but he seems like a good dude. He did the Godzilla thing. I think he did Monarch.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then he did WandaVision
too.
Right?
Yeah.
Every episode
he was like a child actor and like a makeup artist too.
Yeah. Every episode of WandaVision.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are we going to give numbers?
I was saying that was my next thing. Let's give numbers. Brian, what are you giving it?
I'm giving it an 8.
An 8. You gave Superman an 8.5. Do you still stand by that?
I give Superman an 8.5. If I didn't spend 10 minutes of him fighting his clone, I would have given it a 9. Yep.
Fair enough. I'm going my screen. Todd.
8.5.
Dave. I give it a. I was saying 7.5. It could be an 8. Darryl.
I'll give it an 8.
Barry.
8.5.
There's two. Wait. Let's see. Everyone said 8.5. Raise your hand. And you guys were 8.
8, yeah.
Okay.
And I gave Superman an 8, so I'm giving this a half a point higher than Superman.
I gave Superman a 9.5.
I know you did.
Todd, let me ask you a question. If Superman didn't exist, would this rate higher for you?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a really good question. No, because I other than Derryl, I probably have more comic book time invested. I have a really hard time looking at a lot of these films and separating the essence of the characters from the characters. And I think they did a great job with this. Like I said, it's not perfect. I think it's as good as it could be. I really don't. Other
I just don't see, because it's not just you talking about it here, but I don't understand why everybody's trying to compare these two movies. Like, to me, they're
just
because
think
they're
how they
difficult.
did things.
They're challenging properties to adapt that have been adapted multiple times, and that's what I'm saying. They're very,
I'm
very
not
different.
even saying that. I'm like, what? It just, aside from whatever character it is, whatever comic, whatever character, and these are similar because they're very old characters with multiple iterations. But besides all that, how did you feel when you were out of it? For me, I was so excited and needed to rush to see Superman again. I'm not feeling that from this. And I feel like,
but isn't it fair to say that historically you're a much bigger Superman fan than you are a Fantastic Four fan?
I never read Superman. I only like no. I wouldn't
No,
say
because
so.
I know you're a big Batman fan, but I thought that you loved the '79 Superman movie, and like we've talked about this before, you've got an affinity for that character.
Not as much as Batman.
So something disturbing that I found out by, going to see this movie screwed up our schedule because I had to see the movie for this show. So I saw it by myself, and I'm going again tomorrow with my wife. The theater we usually go to is bumping it for Police Squad. We have to go to another theater. I can't see it tomorrow. It's being
They're
bumped
doing
1
so
week.
much promotion for Police Squad.
1 week.
It's crazy.
Yep.
That's a disgrace.
That is a gamble because when was the last time we saw a parody farce thing like that was a hit? I mean, that was a big thing at the time that Police Squad was out, and Police Squad was the tail end of that.
Especially when adults don't go to movies anymore unless they bring their children. They're not bringing their children back.
I mean, that started with like Airplane, the Zucker brothers films. And it had like a 12, 15-year run of those kind of over-the-top parody films. But that's kind of gone away. And we haven't seen that or seen it work for a long time. So,
the first Naked Gun movie was 1988.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, it's been a long time. And
no one's making anything original anymore. They're like, oh, let's go back. This was good,
that's
but
what
it
I'm
was
saying,
good 20
still,
years ago. Sorry.
Superman, the new Superman movie has passed all the other solo Superman movies in box office now.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned that Fantastic Four, I like it plenty. I'm concerned it's going to fall off quickly if they're bumping it from theaters for Police Squad. That's what happened to Buckaroo Banzai.
It could be.
He got killed same way.
Could be.
That's a disgrace.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai got killed by Revenge of the Nerds. Yep.
No.
Yep.
Did it really?
Well,
Yep.
Revenge of the Nerds is the far superior of those two
Look,
movies.
guys, I love Buckaroo Banzai, but it is not for everybody. Revenge of the Nerds.
It is not. I got to say,
for everybody.
I tried to sell people on that movie back in the day.
So, hey, is everyone's Superman score higher than their Fantastic Four score?
I'm the only one I think that's lower.
Dave, you were concerned about it. Barry, you were lower?
I was half a point lower for Superman.
I originally gave it a 9. After I saw it again, I gave it a 9.5.
Yeah. Todd, what was your
mine?
Yeah.
Do I have to say it? It's 9.75 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times. I will probably go see it again. I tried to find it on IMAX thing locally, and I can't find one. I absolutely love that film. I do not. I think it's brilliant.
I think it's past, in my opinion, the original Christopher Reeves one. The more I think
it
about
has to.
Wow.
And again, taking the dating, the 30, 50 years or whatever it is, but their handling of it was a little goofier.
It is, but it
a
was
little
also
tongue-in-cheek versus this, so that's why.
And it really works.
That was a film that created a genre, and it's I don't know. I think, like I said, I think this is it's really hard to compare them, but I did not believe there would ever be a Superman film as good as that one.
No,
And
For
this
its
is
time,
this
it's
is as good.
incredible.
It's as good as that one.
I don't know if you guys touched on this. I think Todd may have mentioned this. One of the reasons I like it a lot, and I'm a big DC Comics guy, generally a big comics guy. I love the superhero genre. I've never liked Superman because I couldn't relate to him. He's too powerful. There are very few ways to kill him. This movie tamped down his powers and showed us several ways that he could be killed that were totally
Humanized them,
believable. It humanized him. I love the reset, and that's why I like it even more. It's kind of
modern times. There's the John Byrne Man of Steel run, which basically depowered him and brought the Kents back and did all this kind of stuff. And then there's Superman for All Seasons, which is terrific, and a lot of this came from that. You need a more human Superman.
Yeah, you absolutely need.
This is a more human Superman, and the Superman as outsider does not work. This was, I think it was, like I said, I
loved it.
I'm really optimistic for what James Gunn does going forward.
Yep, totally optimistic. So I gave it a really high rating, higher than Fantastic Four, because I felt it was such an important, reset of the character, and totally great. So.
And I, for me, I really liked Superman. So it's not like I'm saying I didn't like it. I think an 8 is a really good movie. I didn't feel the same way you guys did. I didn't feel compelled to run out and see it again. I want to see Fantastic Four again. So like, to me, I that plays into, for me, the score that I'm going to give it in.
I think Barry, I want to pay $5 just
Barry, what
watch
do you have
the scene in the apartment.
For a number?
Oh, I don't remember what I had Man of Steel at back in the day.
Man of Steel.
Oh, I hated that movie.
I hated it.
I like Man of Steel. But I am not precious about Superman at all. Because...
And that's what I'm saying.
Are you precious about Metropolis? Because it gets destroyed.
You think you were an 8 on that, or I know you were higher than
I probably gave it an 8. I'd have to go back and look.
You're saying you don't have it on a spreadsheet someplace?
I do, but I'm not going to go looking for it now. We're finishing up this segment.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Sorry.
No, that's good. So now let's go what's in the box.
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Todd, what do you got?
So I have been dealing with the Detolf issue for a while. IKEA made these cheap, inexpensive very inexpensive display cases that worked really well for 1/6 scale figures. My house is basically full of them. And then they stopped, and they replaced it with the Flurgenbergen Sugar thingy, and which does not work. And so I went online and I looked at everybody else's alternatives that they came up with, and some people were saying this thing and other people were saying this thing. And in one of my searches for Detolf, it took me to Wayfair, which honestly I've for the most part avoided. And
you hate
because I don't need to have a couch delivered. And so anyways, if you search Detolf, one of the things that will come up is Wayfair, and they will show you the Ramona, and that's with an O, like Rome. And it's basically the width of 2 Detolfs, the height. Aesthetically, it's the same. It looks very, very similar. You could put it side by side. This thing is fantastic. And it's in a low $200 range, so not much more than 2 Detolfs. Much better built. It's tempered glass. You're going to spend a while building it because and this thing is meant to be a display case or wine cabinet. So it's a lot more rugged, and it needs to be, built that way. But this is super impressive. And like I said, I've been looking for a long time. Everything else was a compromise one way or another. So this is 31 inches wide. It's the same depth as a Detolf, which I think was 12 or 13 inches. The shelves are right at like 14 inches, 15 inches, and just a great product. And I got it in 3 days. So without having to go to IKEA.
It really looks like somebody took a Detolf and just stretched it out long ways and made it
gotta say,
wider.
The hardware, like the door hardware, looks like a Detolf. The the wood on the top, the wood on the bottom. It doesn't have the stupid wire rack thing in the inside holding the shelves. The shelf design is much better. It's much more stable. If you want to put statues in this, you could put statues in this. Statues don't weigh more than a crate of wine. And like I said, super, super impressed with this. And I've been looking since they stopped making these things.
We've been talking about an alternative to data for 10 years. Remember, we found that one on.
And the thing is, they've never been a perfect solution. In fact, I've got mine modified with things that I bought from people on eBay, so I can make my shelf.
But they're huge in the collector community. The fact that they discontinued it is shocking.
Cheap, and they're the perfect size to display Hot Toys figures. And
I have to imagine they were losing money on them somehow, and that's why they stopped making them.
But you put that in YouTube, and you're going to get 10,000 videos on people using them for collectibles.
You are, and then like I said, I read a bunch of Reddit things and a whole bunch of things, and people proposing different replacements, and none of them seem right. This thing, like I said, is for what I paid for this thing, it is absolutely ideal, and because it's not two cases side by side, you have the full spread across. You can actually make better use of the display space. So I may replace a few of my other Detolfs with a few more of these. So
So go to Wayfair.
Tell
Kelly Clarkson that the Regular Joe sent you.
That's right.
And get your Ramona.
And if you give them your email address, they'll give you 10% off, and you'll get it for even less. So, like I said, I highly recommend it. The other thing too is, I'll say this: I told the guys earlier, my box came beat to hell, and I looked at this thing on the front doorstep, and I was like, oh God, this thing coming out of a UPS truck. This is inside of a wooden crate, inside of a cardboard box. So this thing was shipped really, really well, and or packaged really.
You get it upstairs, doesn't it weigh? You said it weighs 135 pounds.
Oh, I had to take it up pieces. It's 139 pounds. I had to take it up.
Jesus.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
I had to. Two of us carried it in the house. I had to open the box, and then, the other thing is I opened it downstairs because if it was broken inside the box,
you didn't want to have to.
I wasn't going
to. Yeah.
But I did. I brought it up a couple pieces at a time. So, anyways, like I said, been looking a long time. This is the case you've been looking for. So,
all right, Derryl, what do you got?
Wow. So for the past few months, I've been collecting a series of trading cards. Back in the 60s, a company called Donruss made a series of trading cards called the Odd Rods, which were just like super inspired by, I guess, what do you call it, Big Daddy Roth and things like that.
The weirdos made model kits like that too.
Yeah, the weirdos had cards like these. So they're kind of related to Wacky Packages in that they're pop culture subversive kind of card lines. So I've been collecting all of the Odd Rod sets, and I finished those. And then following that, Donruss did a series of sports cards in the same vein called Baseball Super Freaks and Football Super Freaks. And just today in the mail, I got the last of the Baseball Super Freaks.
No.
So I got 6 cards to put in my album and complete all of these Donruss kind of, I don't know what you call them, subversive kind of card sets. So it's a little, thing related to Wacky Packages that I've been doing this year. So I'm pretty happy about that. I am done.
Are those hard to track down, or are they fairly?
It was surprisingly easy because I bought the last one I needed. I bought a partial set, and then I was able to go, and 2 people who had a bunch of singles listed, I was able to get the singles, from them. And in just 2 orders, I got what I needed. Thank goodness for people who sell singles off a menu, drop.
Yeah, I actually did that when I was finishing my Star Wars card run. I was missing just a few cards, and I was able to complete it the same way.
Yeah,
selling singles.
So thank goodness for the sellers who just make, who knows what they make on selling single cards. They can't. I know, right? Much, but
yeah,
a valuable public service. All right,
Brian.
So that's what I have.
Okay, so I love Fantastic Four so much. I got this.
Oh,
what is
It's the Fantastic Four car popcorn bucket.
Oh my
I've
God.
never
Wow.
seen that. Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's great.
That's incredible.
Doesn't
Look at
even
that
hold
chrome.
Where does the
popcorn.
popcorn go?
This popcorn bucket thing is
That's
the new
not the
Pops.
point, Barry.
No,
There's a
I know. I'm just
Galactus-
curious.
There's a
Galactus-
Galactus one
it
that's
opens
selling
up, but
for
it's
a
gotta
ton of
find-
money. That
find
is
the
so much cooler.
Galactus's head, I get. You put it in the top, but
That
there
is
we go.
so
Look at
It
that.
holds
much
no
cooler than the
popcorn.
Galactus one.
But
So
they just
Wow.
sell
I
them in.
I love the car in
No, the
when I
car
saw it
is
in the
cool.
trailer.
The
in
car
movie.
is great.
It's great, and this is a really nice model. It's,
Brian, can you send me a picture of that?
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I can.
That's great. Did you get that at the theater, or did you get
Yeah, I
that
got it
online?
at the theater.
See,
And you get a
my
bucket of
theater
popcorn.
doesn't do these fancy
You get a
popcorn
bucket of
buckets.
popcorn.
Yeah,
with it as well.
when I saw Superman in IMAX, there was literally a menu of all kinds of things. There was like 3 things for every movie to pick from. There was a blanket from something. There's popcorn. Alamo doesn't have any of that.
I'm hoping that somebody on the RPF makes a light kit for this because it'd be really cool if it lit
That
up.
is super cool.
And Derryl, it really reminds me of the Captain Action,
Yes.
No, it so does.
The
Yeah.
Silver Streak.
the
Yep.
Silver Streak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to go on the shelf downstairs next to my Silver Streak.
Very cool.
I am happy to report, by the way, that my theater that I love to go to, I had mentioned to you guys a couple weeks ago that the last time I went, the screen had some kind of damage on it. They have fixed it. So
Did they
thankfully,
sew
because-
a patch? And
I don't know what they
Brad?
did, but what they charge for that theater now, I mean, it's kind of getting to the point where I'm having to question whether I'm going to continue to keep going to that
Oh man.
theater because it's quite an upcharge. But at least make sure the screen is good quality because the sound and they have the Barco laser projector in there and the sound is amazing. But when there's blotches on the screen, it really was a problem. But they fixed it. So
No fun.
So Brian, do they have in that? Sorry, that popcorn bucket's amazing. Do they have the plug-in where you put the bassinet, the baby carrier in there?
No, it's completely empty for popcorn on the inside. Yeah.
That was funny though.
That
The
was a pretty
smartest
funny
people in the
scene.
world can't figure that out, which
if
is
you've
so
ever had
typical.
kids and you've had to put
That
car
was.
seats
I
in
thought
cars,
that was great. I really
That
did.
was brilliant.
The three clueless guys trying to get the thing.
And they obviously built it themselves too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they built the Fantastic car. They built the thing themselves
but they
with
had
the
to
light.
adapt it. They had to adapt it, and that
They
was
still
Yeah.
confuse themselves.
yeah.
It was great.
Barry, what do you got?
I have a very large maquette from Regal Robot. This is the Ephantmon maquette.
Oh yeah.
It's really big, but it's super cool. They made 83 of these. It comes with a signed plaque from Phil Tippett.
Wow.
So I'm picky and choosy about which ones of their maquettes I get, but this one is just so cool. I had to have them. So that's what's in the box. Dave, what's in the box?
Cool. Mine is tied into the movie we just talked about, and there's a contest involved with it. So I'm going to switch to, thanks to people, my alternate camera. So
Oh,
you guys see
nice.
this? Do you guys see this the right way, or is it
Yeah,
backwards?
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay, I see backwards.
Wow.
So these are, I'm going to put a picture in the chat too. These are what goes on the top of taxis in the city. This is what they're doing now. They're acrylic. It's like 1/8-inch acrylic with this. It's actually painted on there, like
Like
not
a
like
silk
hand
screen or
painted.
something?
silk screened.
It's not even silkscreen. It's just UV printing. But
Oh.
this thing is about, I'd say, almost 4 feet across. And a friend of mine knows taxi guys, and he got a couple of them.
Wow.
And even I got it like 3 weeks ago before the movie came out. So this is the current ad for the Fantastic Four. It's actually pretty cool.
That's
That is
beautiful.
really cool.
And I have 2 of them. And since Barry liked the movie the best, he gets one of them. That's the contest. And I'm going to take my headphones off for a second. I was also given that. And since I like the movie the least, I'm keeping that. I got the one from Karate Kid Legends, which I don't know anyone in the world saw that movie.
Oh, did it come out already?
Yeah,
It
it's
came
already out. I have
It
not
came out in May.
haven't heard of anybody going to see that one either.
I have not. But Barry, if you want that, it's yours. You're more than welcome to have it.
I've got to think about where I would put it.
Exactly. If you
think
don't
of a
want
spot,
it,
then
tell
I'll
me.
take it.
Tell me about it. I have the other one. I'm gonna hang it in my workshop just because it's kind of cool. I asked him to get a Superman one, so that's maybe in the works.
Cool.
Those are cool. They're just very big.
They're big, yeah. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll use it. I'll peel the. I thought it was a sticker. I'm like, I'll peel the sticker off and just use it for scrap acrylic, but it's not. It's not a sticker.
Well, is it made to be backlit, Dave?
Oh yeah. If you look at that thing, there's a light inside. Yeah.
There you go, Barry. I mean, a really outstanding display. That'll be really nice.
It would be amazing. I
don't know if they're
wall
I guess they're
spaces at a
backlit.
premium.
Anyway, so that's what's in the box.
Well, it's made to go outside so you can put it in your patio.
No, it's just funny. We were at your house, Dave, but you didn't show that to us.
I totally forgot to show those to you. You know why? Because Todd had put all the packing peanuts in the way to get. They were behind my car.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, that was awesome. I'm saying they were in the way. I moved all those upstairs.
I just gave Dave. Dave, why do you need packing material?
Oh, because I from Dave's workshop, I actually just used some of your peanuts because they were handy. I shipped something to Japan yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was very concerned with. Sorry, someone's texting me. I was very concerned with it traveling literally across the world. So I packed it very well in packing peanuts. So if you need a placard display, check out FromDavesWorkshop.com. Thank you, Todd. Any other? Oh, I know, Barry, you had a last thought.
Yeah, I just, thought we shouldn't let this show go by without just mentioning the passing of Ozzy Osbourne.
Mangione. Oh, sorry.
Dave, switch back to your other camera so we can see you.
Okay.
So, yeah, we tend to do these final thoughts around people passing, and Ozzy Osbourne played his last show on July 5th and passed away on July 22nd. And, I'm not the world's biggest Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne fan, but you can't deny the impact that he and that band have had on heavy music, and forgetting about the fact that he became a reality TV show star and everything else in later years. But, Black Sabbath is a groundbreaking band.
Oh, for sure.
And Ozzy's first couple solo albums were equally groundbreaking, and, so sad that he passed, but great that he got to do that final show and that he was healthy enough to do that, considering the condition he must have been in. But so anyway.
And everybody who commented said what a good person he was and a good guy, and just, there was not that anyone's going to start bad mouthing someone who's dead, but there really a ton of people went out of their way and said what a good person he was.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I watched a lot of that final. It was an 8-hour show that they did, and it was a lot of big bands paying tribute to them, and everybody that performed played either a Black Sabbath or an Ozzy song, and Ozzy did 4 songs solo and 5 songs with Black Sabbath. It was a really good, great, way of acknowledging that band. And it was a final send off for Black Sabbath, and who knew it turned out to be final send off for Ozzy himself. So,
yeah, what was I going to say? I don't remember now, but,
and our friend Gordon was in his last music video.
Oh, that's true. And he was young. He was 76, I think.
76. He's been battling Parkinson's for years.
That's way too young.
I mean,
it's way too young, but it's Ozzy Osbourne. Come on, let's finish.
I was going to say
it's the mileage. It's not the years. It's the mileage.
Very publicly abused himself for many, many, many years with drugs and alcohol. So the fact that he made it to 76 is and snorting ants.
Yes.
But he had a great career. So
yeah, and very influential for sure. So rest in peace, Ozzy. There's a lot of people who died, but. In the past couple of weeks, but he's definitely the standout.
Yes, in the grand scheme of things, are
no, I'm saying like famous people, but
yeah,
that's for sure. Okay, well, anyone else got anything they want to say?
I don't know. It was good having the whole crew here.
Yeah, it was good having the whole crew.
Great to hang out.
Yeah, always good to catch up. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.